Feenstra on Saturday the 16th of June, talking to a great guitar player, Mr. Stuart James on my right.
Afternoon.
His brother Junior on the left, who plays great bass, and the band is called the Stuart James Band. And the reason we're here is to talk about your brand new album called Changing Lanes, which has got some great reviews.
Yeah, it's got some great reviews.
It's been a long time coming. Do you want to tell everybody how we got to this point?
How we got to this point? I think really how we got to this point was me ending up jacking in a very demanding job and company ownership, and having enough time to start rewriting material, because, you know, as you remember, we were here probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago.
Power trio called Say What?
Well, yeah, I mean, to start with, we did that first, and then we flipped the name to the Stuart James Band, and we did with you shows with Bonamassa and Feel Good and all sorts of people up here, Tommy Allen as well. We double-headed up there, and then we it all went a bit sort of worky for a while. Yeah. And that's kind of gone away now, and so I pretty much wrote this new. It's like an EEP really, the new record, 7 tracks. So it's not quite an album.
We'll talk about that in a moment. But have you been playing with your brother ever since the beginning then, Junior?
Not really since the beginning. I mean, it started from, it was really Say What where I started playing bass.
I forced you into it.
You did force me. You pressed me into it one night when we were drunk and you were playing with someone else. And we really need to be doing this. So off we went to buy a bass and amp, and it went from there.
Because Julie was a guitar player when he was really young.
donkey's years.
Like quite a few bass players, you ended up originally a guitar player.
That's what we're doing, play guitar.
Well, you were. You just didn't dedicate enough time to it.
But just quickly going back to Say What, that was a power trio. It was notable for your great playing, or fiery playing, and pretty good songs, but this album is a step up in many ways. Yeah,
by a country mile. I mean, the early stuff was, if you imagine sort of, you know, a bit of pub rock trying to get into the club scene, it was all a bit like that. That album that we're talking about, the Say What one, was 10 years ago now.
Yeah, but the scene was different then, of course.
It was. And then we had another record shortly before we sort of, not jacked it in, but before it really took us a dive, which was called Porno Kitchen Morals, and that had 10 tracks on it. Yeah. And 8 of which were self-penned. And
was that the same lineup as now?
No, that was us and Junior, but with Rob Biss on drums. Right. And then, you know, in some of those songs, they're still in the set now, because unfortunately that album really never was released. Right. But then, like you say, a step up even again is this one that we got now. We got Robin Black to produce and mix it, who's done...
To work with Toll?
Big time. And Rory Gallagher he did as well, and also Black Sabbath, you know. So he really got the sound I was looking for, you know.
And so you went in there knowing what you wanted. You pre-wrote the songs before you went in the studio?
Well, I wrote it all and recorded it at home, because I've got a studio in my garden.
So it's all pre-planned?
It's all pre-done, then we took it to Robin and got it mixed at his place just up near Dorking.
And did you do this whole thing as a band in the studio, playing as a band, or did you do different parts?
Some of it was.
Some of it was all band, and some of it was drums first, and the rest was I mean, Stuart literally single-handedly wrote the majority of this album anyway. He's had the time to do it. Yeah. But now we're writing again, more on top of the last album, what we're releasing it. Writing more as a band as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Spence couldn't make it today, but...
Spence, who used to play with Juicy Lucy, of course, and you had some involvement with that.
Yeah, I played with Ray Owen as well, so it's... it's fantastic singing. I guested for him Wednesday night, actually.
Oh, right, excellent.
And he's just, you know...
And this is all part of the kind of West Sussex music scene?
There's...
Where you're from now?
There's a few of us, we're down in Horsham. We've got some guys out of Crawley as well, Dan Giles and me, was, you know, it's like the Crawsham Blues Mafia as it is.
Well, you originally came from North Nottinghamshire, or Mansfield, somewhere near where Alvin Lee came from, of course. Yeah. Genes running up there, I suppose, musical.
Yeah, there was something that Blues Matters wrote about me not so long ago after our album launch, which I thought was quite good. They said that my guitar player was reminiscent of my forefathers hacking at the coalface. I really quite like that.
It's very, very choppy, and there's that kind of element, nervous energy. Nervous energy there. Yeah. But the interesting thing, this album's actually kind of not quite an album and bigger than an EP. It's 7 tracks, in fact. It's kind of a mini album.
Yeah, I mean, I could have put... there was a couple of reviews where they said, oh, well, why didn't you put any... You know, just put a cover on it, but I don't want to put a cover on it.
No, it's coherent from start to finish.
Yeah, it's And I really like this one as well because it's really honest as well. It's the most honest thing that I've done so far. The songs are about things that have happened to me, good and bad, and I think people really pick up on that. Yeah. When you sort of first start writing songs, it's all a bit, and kind of what I hate about
cliche. Really.
Yeah, you get sort of, especially this genre that we're in, you'll get some guy singing about, I was driving down the road in Texas. I've never been in fucking Texas. Yeah. You know what I mean? But with the lyrics and the stuff that I wrote on this one, it's, you can tell that some of it's, a lot of pleasure, some of it's a lot of pain. And
you live through a few things, which is what blues guys sing, or women as well sing about.
Yeah, very true.
It brings truth and substance to the song. Yeah. And the other thing about the album is it's full of kind of grooves and bits of funk and some good riffs.
There's all sorts of it.
Did you think about the sequencing?
Big time. Yeah,
that seems to flow quite well.
Very, very hot on that, even down to the spacings between the 5 to 8 second spacing that I would deliberate over between track to track was very important to me.
Dynamics.
Because you can't have something like the opening track changing lanes and then banging straight into something like Take This Love, which is a really soft, gooey sort of song. You can't have that. You've got to have
acoustic ballad. What we call that, Stuart. It's really, really good. So, how long did the songwriting take leading into this album?
I think the songs came quite quickly because it's like that thing if you're doing when you're doing 14, 18-hour days and you're worrying about where this guy's going or what's happening and this and that, then your creativity is like shot. Yeah. And then, so as soon as that stopped, after about 3 weeks of not doing anything, all of a sudden I'm up and down the garden to the studio and thinking, oh, that's all right. What about that? Then the words, then this, then that. And the songs were written quite quickly, weren't they, Simon?
Yeah, they did. It's every day I was running around, or
I've done another one.
I've done another one too.
Yeah.
So how long the whole lot take?
Well, the whole thing took over a year.
Yeah.
But the
songs came quick.
The songs came quick.
The putting them down takes the time, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the prattling about, and we had a bit of bother with, I did actually take it to one studio first to get it mixed, and I paid, the usual exorbitant fees, and they got it to within probably 90% of what I wanted. Right. But I was like, no, this is good enough for me. I'm not doing 90%. No. And so that's when I got in touch with Robin Black, and it's 98%.
And he brought that kind of song.
That extra 8%, which means so much. Yeah. And you can't get 100%.
It's a very bright album, I've got to say. There's good tones in there as well.
Yeah, and it's loud as well when you
dynamics, very much so. And going to your general background leading into your own music, as you have done, who, both of you really, who were your influences when you first started out? Because you're a lot younger than me, for example, but you're playing rock blues, which... Yeah.
My dad's record collection
he gets the blame.
He gets the blame, my dad. But I mean, dad's record collection, you mentioned, Alvin Lee, 10 years after Deep Purple, I learned pretty much to play to the Made in Japan album, and some people recognise that in my play.
Actually, you've got a Hammond on the record as well.
There is a Hammond on there, yeah. But that's actually, when we played here actually with Deep Leonard, their drummer, I came off stage, and they were, nice guy, they came off stage and he went, one thing to say to you, he says, Richie Blackmore. And I was like,
that's his hero.
Yeah, but he noticed. And Rory Gallagher, of course, and,
and there is that intensity in both this album and what you've done before.
Yeah, I like to think so, yeah.
I thought so kind of it's very similar to Rory Gallagher.
Yeah, scrappy. I'm not the cleanest, it's like I'm not the cleanest, tidiest player. But, it suits what we do. And Rory never was either in his vocals and all that, but it's just the whole thing of like...
But you feel relaxed enough to go into the studio and lay down what you do live, kind of, without losing that intensity?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Because we do it live, when we're playing out and about on the road. So I've got no qualms. I mean, I'd probably be cringing at a few of the bits, but...
Yeah. So anyway, the album's called Changing Lanes. It's out now. It's had some good reviews. Yeah. Where can people get it?
They can get it online for StuartJamesBand.com. You can buy it on iTunes. You can buy it on Amazon.
Spotify.
You can buy it on Spotify. You've only got to search Stuart James Band Changing Lanes.
And there's going to be a few clips on YouTube.
There will be some more clips on YouTube. We'll put this on here and various other bits. And there's some nice videos on YouTube actually from the album launch at the Welton's Brewery. Yeah,
this is the other thing I didn't talk about, of course, is the fact you've been quite instrumental, quite self-sufficient in building up your own music scene, really, and focusing on what you're doing. Whereas most people cut an album, forget about it, and it drifts away. You've done the opposite. You've actually focused quite.
Yeah, you've got to really, and you've got to like create your own buzz because nobody's going to do it for you.
Yeah. I think you refused to drift away from it after the last one what we wrote of Porn and Kitchen Morals.
Just sat in the garage.
Sat in the garage.
Yeah. You know, boxes of copies.
I'm sure I've got one left somewhere.
He didn't gig, of course. So that,
no, exactly. But I just weren't having that again. So
you're doing a show with Papa Chubby next week, Danny, which will be great.
Friday night.
Hopefully we'll see you on a few more shows.
Definitely.
Any other shows in the book you can tell me?
Yeah, we've got. We just did Ebden Bridge Festival last week. That was good fun. We've got this one with you. Then we got 25th of September at the 100 Club with Lightman and Giles Robson.
Yeah, she was down there a few weeks back.
Then the Bognor Rocks Festival in August or something.
That'll be last weekend in July.
Last weekend in July.
That's on the seafront.
That's on the seafront, yeah. And then we're off on tour in Holland in October.
So there we are. So check out the album, everybody. It's been a pleasure talking to Stuart on my right, on my time, Junior on my left. It's been Pete Feenstra talking to most of the Stuart James Band. Good afternoon.
Stuart James, come on!